Joneses. Nicole and I are excited again about sharing fresh and relevant topics that help the families in America and in the rest of the world. This week we'll be talking about family time.
Yes.
That big F word, family, and finding ways to get engaged with the family throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year. The most important thing that we've done, Nicole, and I think we've mentioned in multiple videos, is to be intentional about getting together with the family. Some of the things we do here at the house, we do breakfast together. We work tirelessly to do lunch together sometimes when I'm available. We do dinner together. Every night we make sure we sit down and do dinner if possible, unless we're at Bible study, unless we're out of town. And throughout the week, we make sure we are carving out time as a family to get together, to have that FaceTime with the girls and have that FaceTime with each other. And even on Friday nights, Nicole, and I'll let you talk a little bit about that. Friday nights is the time where we just unwind and do this, call it family night, do some family stuff.
Right. And so for us, we are business owners, and so we are extremely busy. And we're also a homeschool family, so we do have an opportunity to have breakfast together and lunch together. And we know that everyone does not have that opportunity, but the intentional part of the family time is what we want to talk about on today. I grew up in a household that was a co-parenting type household. My parents were divorced. So I lived with my mom during the school year and my dad in the summertime. Van grew up in a very structured environment. His mom and dad were both in the house. His mom did not work, and so she was at home with them every afternoon. So we kind of had to come together on our idea about what was important to us in regards to family time. I grew up not sitting down eating for dinner. He grew up sitting down eating for dinner. And so whatever that, I guess, communication that you need to have with your spouse about what type of family time is important to you, you need to have it, because our children are going to be grown and gone. I mean, we have a 15-year-old and almost an 11-year-old, and we always talk about how quickly the time is passing. And so I think one of the things that we had to do is sit down and say, this is what's important to us, because our business takes a lot of our time. We are pretty much at our after-school program every single day. Our children have activities, and so we had to carve out time for family time. And so like I said, we have a Friday night, family night, which looks different every Friday. But for the most part, we are together on Friday nights, whether that's playing a game, whether that's watching a movie. We pretty much every Friday eat pizza.
Eat pizza, love pizza.
We
love
pizza, but we need to back up a little bit on pizza. But anyway, that's what we do on Friday nights. And so another thing I guess that we could talk about is just going ahead and setting a time for family vacations and family get-togethers. And I know with Van, that took a lot of adjusting.
Yeah, with my schedule, we started. I coached basketball for a decade, and so I was gone a lot. I shifted gears. I became an administrator. I had to tweak and adjust my schedule. Then I spent some time with the nonprofit, so I was out of the house a lot. Mm-hmm. And so Nicole and I, as I mentioned, had to be intentional about family time throughout the week, where we can get a breakfast in, where we can get a lunch in, where we make it our business to be home nearly every night of the 7 nights, at least 5 of the nights. My goal is to be home. I work some Wednesdays, work every Wednesday, and our goal is to be home most nights, barring kids' activities and barring other events that we plan in advance for family time. Mm-hmm. But the operative word is being intentional about everything we do. Nicole does an amazing job of planning our family vacations. Mm-hmm. We sit down weekly and look at our calendar. We do calendar checks, calendar review. She tells me what she has. We look at the family calendar. I know what she's doing for the week. We know what the girls are doing. They know what I'm doing. I try very hard. Sometimes I mess up, try not to say yes to something that's going to affect family time, because us sitting down to dinner every night when we can is important to us. And us going on vacation is important. Right. Even with my job, I work on the weekends on Sunday mornings. We even carve out time to go on vacation and spend time as a family on the road to make sure that the girls get to know us. We get to spend family time because, as she mentioned, they're 15 and about to be 11, they will be out of this house, and we would have missed a golden opportunity to spend time with them, to really get to know them, for them to get to know us, and for us to model what a family really, really looks like, so they can develop that in their family.
Right. And so one of the things that we try to implement during our family time is like a no screen zone, no phone zone type environment. So if it's family night and it's Friday night and we're watching a movie, then we don't have our phones.
We call it disconnect.
Disconnecting, yeah. So on Fridays we have community service and we attempt to disconnect. And so just like everyone else, I mean, our phones have become a part of us, and it's really hard, but we try to make sure that we're holding ourselves accountable for that. Another part of family time that's really important is to make sure that Van and I are investing in our relationship as well. So we do try to make sure that we at least go to lunch together or something like that once a week. We try to make sure that we go away together at least twice a year, just the two of us. Whether it be just, I mean, we've gone like just, you know, a city that's only 100 miles away and just spent one night and like had dinner, spent one night, got up the next morning and came back home. So you want to make sure that not only are you thinking about family time as with, you know, with your children, but then also as a couple to make sure that you guys are connecting and staying on the same page. One of the things that he mentioned that was really important for us, I mean, I guess it has helped us a lot with a lot of our arguments, is making sure that we are meeting weekly about the activities of our week. My husband is the discipleship pastor at our church, so things come up at our church. We also, like I said, we own a business that has more than one location. And then our kids are busy, and so we can have a lot of conflict if we're not meeting, if we're not on the same page. I know some people use Google Calendar where everyone knows what's going on. We're really old school and use paper calendars, but we want to make sure that everyone is on the same page so that we are being intentional about the time that we're spending together, whether it's riding to a ball game, who's going to pick up who from practice. On the way from practice, I'm going to take Vanessa to go get something to eat. And so he'll talk a little bit about that as well, just making sure that we're intentional with our children one-on-one as well. So
absolutely. One of my goals as a father in 2019, as I mentioned, I have a really, really busy schedule. One of my goals is to take the girls on a date at least twice a month, a one-on-one date, and to, as Nicole mentioned, to be intentional about taking her on a date weekly. Just getting that FaceTime, just getting away from the noise and the monotony, just saying, hey, it's just you and I. You matter most to me right now in this moment. And making sure we take time for ourselves. As she mentioned, the girls will be gone.
Right.
And it'll be a stranger in our houses, and we don't know who this person is. So we have to foster that relationship because the girls will be gone.
Right.
And it'll just be us, baby. So we got to make sure we foster this thing.
So we want to make sure that we are spending family time together, that we're making sure that we're investing in that time and being intentional about that, but then also spending time with each other. And then also with our children one-on-one, we want to make sure that we're communicating about what's going on, making sure that we're disconnecting. But then finally, right before we finish, we want to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. In order for us to help our families, family time also looks like self-care. It looks like mommy being able to go do something for herself, daddy being able to go do something for himself. One of the things that my husband has done for years is on Saturday mornings, he takes time out by himself to spend time with God, to look at our budget, to look at things, to go work out, to go get his haircut. That's his time. And we honor that time. We make sure that we're not calling him and texting him and that kind of thing. So we want to make sure that not only are we taking care of the family unit, the couple unit, the individual children, but that we're also taking care of ourselves so that we can make sure that we are doing what our family needs, being who we need to be for our families, and making sure that we're honoring God with all of that in the process.
Absolutely. Family time is a great time, and here at the Jones House, we try to foster it. Again, thanks so much for joining us this month. We're excited about what your family and what our families